Discipline underlines everything. Self-belief is something that is really easy to say that you have. You're really put under the microscope of how deeply do you believe in yourself. You're standing on a start line in front of millions of people and it's just you. And you have to get every single step right. That takes 150% commitment and self-belief. And I would say that's probably the hardest thing that I've had to learn. But I'm willing to put in the work, and that's the most important thing. I think for me, growing up, I was really shy and really insecure, and it took me a long time to be really comfortable in the skin that I was in, and sport was a really big part of me getting to that. And I went to an all-girls school, and then I went to an all-boys school for sixth form, and I remember the differences just sitting in the classrooms. Like, all the boys would shout out an answer even if it was wrong, and in the girls' school, we wouldn't say anything unless we were 100% sure. And I don't know, being on like the biggest stages in the world, it just made me realise that young women, we can be so much braver because we have such potential, such massive potential, and we're always amazing at everything that we put our minds to. And I'm so lucky that I had sport to teach me that, but I thought if I didn't have sport, maybe would I still be living a bit in my shell? Probably. And so that's why it's so important for me to kind of spread that message out there that no matter what domain you're in, it doesn't have to be athletics, it could be any sport, it could be any field, to just be brave and to believe in yourself and express who you are, because the potential is endless. I would say the toughest part of being a professional athlete is probably the discipline side, because you're not always going to be motivated. I think it sounds nice and shiny to say, yes, I wake up every morning and I want to vomit at training and I want to, not be able to sleep because I've got really bad DOMs and all those different things. Discipline underlines everything. Coming here at my dad in training during lockdown, so it reminded me of like the early days of me doing athletics, and it was nice. It was like the only thing that I could really control. I mean, it wasn't easy motivation-wise sometimes, because obviously my coach wasn't here, my training group wasn't here, but it kind of brought me back to like the real core elements of why I run and what it was like when I started, and reignited my love for it in that sense, about all the bells and whistles and the fancy equipment and everything. I just was getting it done with me, my dad and a few cones. It's been difficult to get myself into a mindset where I'm just like on autopilot all the time. These are my goals. I might not always want them 100% all the time, but I'm willing to put in the work to achieve them, and that's the most important thing. There are so many stereotypes, I feel, that come from being from Peckham, like an area like this, and I never really was aware of that growing up. For me, this area was somewhere that I just had heaps and buckets of inspiration, of the puzzle pieces that make me who I am today. There was always someone that looked like me on the street who was trying to upstart something or achieve something. And I was always around people that were encouraging me, and maybe we didn't have all the things in the world, but we all believed in ourselves. And I think that element of self-belief is something that I've carried with me throughout my whole career. It brings about just the biggest feeling of like nostalgia and happiness and joy, and just all these memories from my childhood that made me who I am today, and that I'm really, really proud of. Even this road here, it leads to my granny's house, and my mum and I used to race down here and skip over the little like double lines, and things like that just make me smile. And I can walk the streets and feel like I'm part of a bigger community, a bigger family, and There's just an air about it. If you're not from here, you might not understand it. The passion for me started at school sports day, and I just remember having this feeling, racing maybe with the top 5 fastest girls in my school, and just feeling like I was flying. My family were there cheering. It just felt like that was what I was meant to be doing with my body. It felt like natural, it felt magic. And it really was birthed here. It was birthed, from my infant school, from my nursery, and it was something that in the back of my head I always knew I was really good at. The number one supporter for me has to be my dad. There was even a period of time where I didn't want to do athletics. He was literally forcing me. He would finish work, drive home, drive me to training. We'd come back at night at like 9, 10 p.m. And he did that just because he believed in me. And before I even believed in myself, really, taking me to this park, this very park, racing me in the park, trying to get my trying to get those juices out, get those genes out. He was the person that pushed me every single step of the way.
I remember the first time I took her to sports day, and I recognised the talent she won quite easily. But we then moved into a situation where I knew it was time that this talent needed to be nurtured. I said, right, okay, let's take this a bit more serious. Let's get everyone involved in one competition for the year. She hated it, never wanted to go. In her first race, she was ranked 3rd in the country, and she had never raced before in any sort of, apart from that school race before on the track. So we were filled with a lot of, we saw a lot of potential.
And so then when I took the baton myself and realised I really wanted to do it, I never forgot that. And my dad is still the person that I'll call at every athletics competition, because even though he's not a technical coach or he doesn't necessarily understand everything, he understands me as an athlete. And yeah, he has to be my number one supporter. I'm so excited for the games in Birmingham. And the reason why I really wanted to race there is because it's a home championships. I absolutely can't wait, and I've trained so hard for this moment, really, really hard. It's the one competition I haven't qualified for yet before, so I'm so happy to have that qualification under my belt. And it will be amazing to just be in front of friends and family. They'll be able to watch in our normal time zone, and it will be amazing just to kind of rep the country and really put my best foot forward. Physical work has been done at this point, and all the gains I will make is by keeping myself really grounded and not getting too hyped up. I think it's so easy to do that and get lost in the occasion. I am genuinely in the most confident place I've been in mentally, and I just want to keep the momentum going. No matter whether there's wins or losses or draws along the way, I really believe in myself this year, and I know that I can achieve really great things. So it's just about keeping your eye on the prize and being consistent and persistent. And in my experience, the athletes that do that always come up on top.